Madam Prime Minister said that it's like already decided. She gave this commitment to supply Ukraine with the fighting jets, but then it's not that easy in the reality to basically make the shipment. So what's going on, man? What's up? What's really happening in Helsinki right now?
Yes, it's a good question. I think we have a quite lively debate during the weekend here in Finland, and I think the main thing is that we have a long border with Russia, and our Hornets, our fighter jets, are being replaced by F-35s in the next. Actually, the first F-35s will arrive sometime 2025, 2026. So I'm afraid, and I think so personally, that it's quite hard to give now any Hornets. Finland is probably quite tied with its own defense right now. And that was a debate.
Okay, so but what was that? So she gave this commitment, she gave this promise, being actually kind of some emotional act on her side, or so it was not a decision that was unilateral within the the Finnish government. So the defense minister, or so who's opposing that, and how come that she could make this commitment without basically consulting others?
Oh, that's a good question. I think the thing is that she said that Finland may start a discussion about this, about replacing the Hornets and what to do with the old fighter jets. But actually, the discussion hasn't been here yet. So I think, and she didn't talk to our president, for instance, or our defense minister, or our defense forces. The elite guys there. She didn't consult with them at all. She just said that maybe Finland will begin a discussion of this also.
So it's not a time just for celebration, right, Tony? We still have a long way to go.
I think so. Yes, I think so. I'm afraid. I think if we had those F-35s, I think the situation would have been quite different. But it's still in a transformation period phase. This our defense forces in this sense. So.
It was quite a while since Finland has basically signed an agreement with the US to get the F-35s, right? And so you were already on this way to transit your military, your air defense, your air forces to the most modern fighter jet. And I assume that your pilots were already training on F-35s, and so it was already in process. So how long it would take, what do you think, what kind of information that you have? So how long it would take for this transition to the new fighter jets, and accordingly, the issue and the fate of your older Hornets, so when it could be decided, potentially?
Yeah. It's very hard to estimate that. And actually, our president, Sauli Niinistö, just had a discussion or told to the press today that he had a discussion with Sanna Marin.
The Prime Minister.
With Sanna Marin, the Prime Minister, and our president said that. Well, we have this our military that has to have the capabilities and all the stuff they need, and that discussion hasn't yet started of what to do with the old Hornets. So it hasn't started. Maybe Sanna Marin was sort of initiating the discussion to be started. But yeah, I think the first fighter jets will arrive at something like 2025, and 2026 the first F-35s are beginning to arrive here. So it's still a very long way to go, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so basically you have this a 3-year gap until the moment when your air defense, your air forces are in a position to share some old equipment, some old gear, right?
I think so, yeah, something like that probably. Of course, the military guys know that more exactly, but yeah, I would suppose so.
One more thing, from a perspective of Finland, again, as you mentioned, you have this long border with Russian Federation as well as we do, unfortunately, and you've already been in combat with the last European continental empire a while ago. And from what I heard from our correspondents back in Helsinki, last summer and last fall, you were pretty seriously getting your armed forces ready for a potential invasion, and you were beefing up your, we would call it territorial defense, but probably it is you have some other name for it there in Finland. But how is what is the situation now? What do you feel? What do you sense? What do you kind of smell? In Finland, in terms of getting ready for a potential Russian involvement in some destabilizing activity in the Northern Europe on the Western Front, we would say.
Well, I think when Russia assaulted, like big time, Ukraine in last year, last February, I think there was a period in Finland also that people were a bit confused at what's going to happen. And then there was this our NATO bid, for instance, and this so-called gray time or gray zone, that we are applying for a NATO membership, but we still are not members yet. So that kind of a in-between period. So people were a bit worried, but I think for us Finns, I think our military is strong, has always been strong. If you compare to many other European nations, they sort of stripped their militaries and got away with the compulsory military training or this, but we have a military. Basically, every guy in Finland, and also females, if you want to go to the military for at least 6 months and up to till 12 months, and we are doing our duties here. We've always done that, so we're kind of prepared. The preparedness has always been part of the Finnish sort of nature. So it's not that we suddenly have to be extra sort of anxious or anything. We sort of always prepared for what may come.
From what I remember from 20 years ago, you had this beautiful system when basically, yeah, every Finn was either going and training to become a sniper or a scout. Back in the woods, in the vast woodlands of Finland, you were either getting ready for this kind of survival skill, this Bear Grylls, style of operation in the vast land of the woods, or becoming a well-trained marksman or a sniper. This is from what I know, having very limited understanding of what is happening in Finland. But what is the system now? Is it kind of any close to what I've just mentioned, or how could you elaborate on that?
Yeah. Of course, we have those guerrilla units that are doing that kind of thing that you just mentioned. But for instance, I was part of the artillery, and so we have different. Of course, we have air force and sea power also, but because we have the Baltic Sea over here, and Actually, there's going to be some new ships are being built at the moment. Also, it started before the whole thing in Ukraine now. So I think our military is very up to the game now at the moment, and then the F-35s are coming. So I think it looks quite good. And the thing is, we have as you mentioned, we have vast forests and lots of lakes and small hills here and there. So it's quite hard to to invade as such here to Finland.
Yeah.
And
I was talking to a Latvian defense minister, the lady who just was appointed as a defense minister a couple of months ago, and their estimates are from Latvia that Russia would only be ready for a full-scale new, she wouldn't say the full-scale war in Europe, but Russia would be able to
choosing between a couple of trainings, so I'm not exactly sure when it will be, but there are definitely much more those trainings that in the last some years. So in that sense, and people are very very eager to go there actually, and because we all see what's happening in Ukraine and how you defend your beautiful country there, and being patriotic up there, down there. So we sort of have our own sort of thing here, and we want to keep maintain our country as well.
Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot for your time and for your comment. And hopefully we'll resume this conversation in no time, and would be able to discuss that further.
Thank you very much, Alexei. Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank
Tony.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you soon. See you soon, man.
Okay.